Hello, welcome to the latest episode of Through the Pages. Today I'm digging into an author of one of my favorite books from last year, Long Division, got Heavy by Kiese Laymon. So, Long Division was a trip of a book. I read it on vacation and just devoured it, and I knew as I looked into him, it seems like that was kind of the outlier of his writing style, that he leans a little bit more, in the deeper realms. And so Heavy, I saw a friend post about it recently, and she was like, I had to take it in parts, it's a very intense book. And so I've been ready for it. I like reading all types of books. So if you like a wide range of books, it's a nice channel for you. I guess probably a 50-50 of fiction, nonfiction on here. So this was a memoir. I guess that would be nonfiction. So this book really chronicles his whole life up until mid-30s, and it explores just all the challenges he had. It'd be too simple to just say the challenges of race. It's of body dysmorphia, of gender issues, class issues. But I think I kind of debated even doing a review on this book, honestly, because I felt like I just finished it this morning. It's I don't know what I can add to this dialogue, but I want you to have a sense of what the book is. No, spoilers. I don't like to do spoilers on any fiction books or anything like this. I'm not going to take the wind out of it for you, but I want to give you my takeaway from it, outside of the fact that it's incredible. If the first several pages are just rave reviews in this, but it's all of this is just praise, and not it was good and I liked it, just insane, overwhelming praise. It deserves all that it gets. And the word I saw in a lot of the critiques of it was generous, and that is a very good word for it. I feel like he got very raw in it, and to the point where some people might pull back thinking my family's gonna read this, the girlfriends or whatever. He didn't hold back at all, and I think that's what makes this book soar. My big takeaway from it, from my vantage point on it, obviously being of a very different cut of society than Kiese. The language in the book, it reminded me a lot of James Baldwin, that it was just sort of other level, and he kept, anytime he would refer to himself, he would say my black body, and my black body, this white body said to the, and things like that, and it made me feel like it would be he represented how he was continually drawn back into the physical of the world, of his surroundings, where more and more over the years you see, whether it's wellness or spirituality, being predominantly white. And I think that's because, not to say that it's from a careless perspective, but when you're routinely faced with such adversity in the general systemic sense and in direct person-to-person sense, I think it's harder for your mind to go elsewhere. And so what I felt from it was that the world was just such a physical hindrance to deeper happiness and satisfaction. And it was a very challenging book to read. I mean, it was gorgeous writing, so it just pulled you in, but at the same time you're just one of these sort, how the book is broken up is it's basically 4 parts, and there's maybe 5 or 6 essays per part, and each one really kind of went over a different instance in his life. Some very challenging. There was some towards the end that dealt with gambling addiction, kind of following his mom's footsteps, even though he resented her for that. And I just think one of those could be such a defining element in a person's life that has less adversity that would be their whole book. Where with Kiese, it was one after the other, after the other, after the other, and not in a hit you over the head with it type way of just like, this is reality, and this is not uncommon. It wasn't that he was hyper intelligent and aware of it all. He had language to express it, but others internalized it and just dealt with it in different ways. But this was a phenomenal and just crystal clear portrait of life in the Deep South. He's from Mississippi, and so then generations of family through there and all of the kind of tradition that comes along with that before moving on to kind of the Northeast and more academic life. But still, I mean, everything is pretty succinct with that upbringing, and it's a glimpse into another world and another mindset that it's rare to find in this, not just this articulate, but this depth. And I'm stuttering to give it the magnitude that it deserves. Like I said, I hesitated to even like make a video for this because it just felt trite for me to be speaking on it, honestly. I did it so that would share that, like, don't be intimidated by it. Like, it's like it deals with heavy subjects for sure, but I think in a way society has gotten to a pretty desensitized point, which is awful. But sometimes you read books and you're just like, if it's a movie, you can kind of like shy away for a second, distract yourself. Like you just got to read the words with books. And so little word of caution on it, but also like it's lessons we need. So don't shy away too much from this sort of stuff. That's not the path in my recommendation. But if you see this book out and about, grab it. It's not a big read. It's been 2 snow days in a row here, and so I'm in Illinois, and I started it last night, finished it this morning, and I already plan to get he has a 3rd book out. So a book of essays, and this came out in 2018. I think his first book was How to Slowly Kill Yourself and Others in America, essays. Actually, no, Long Division was his first book, but this came out in 2013. It caught my eye because of an article last year of it being republished with the parts that weren't allowed before, or that the publisher said were too much. So that caught my eye. I was like, oh, like, you know, what could that be? And I would guess at what they were. But this is a phenomenal book. I have a review video on it, but you can see kind of like too closely. Watch the other review if you want to watch that. We're talking about heavy right now. So yes, Kiese Laymon, phenomenal writer. I think heavy will be a major book of our generation, honestly, as he keeps releasing more, and I am so on the edge of my seat for him to release more. So do go read that book. It is like the title says, but that's the education we're needing. So check it out.